Hey there, everybody. It's Catherine. This is Fish Out of Water Tarot, and tonight we are doing a pick a card reading. I have been thinking so much about the people who follow my channel who are looking for love. My heart goes out. It's not an easy time to be dating. It's not an easy time to be single. I don't know if there is an easy time to be single when you're wanting to find a partner. And in my little tiny readings that are just 13 seconds long, my desire is that the people who listen want to be the best version of themselves. And it's true that when you're at your best, the people around you are at their best. It's how people who are lucky have luckier days than others. Can you hear Murphy over there drinking, for Pete's sake? But some people seem to be in the right place at the right time a little more often than others. And so that can be very frustrating. So tonight's reading is about soulmate love, but it's not just for single people, because sometimes when you're already married or you are in a committed coupleship with someone, it may not be easy to get what you're looking for in your relationship. What is it that makes you feel loved? Are you getting enough of that? So the whole thing about attracting more loving treatment, come on, Murphy, good boy, to attract more loving gestures, to feel more connected. Tonight I had an interesting experience. I took the dogs for a walk. It's a little cold and breezy here. And a police officer, a sheriff, pulled up next to me and struck up a little conversation about my dogs and staying warm in the cold. And he was very kind. He was handsome and he was overly friendly, I thought, considering that it's a chilly night. And I wasn't sure why he stopped to chat with me or what he was doing in our neighborhood. But that little bit of time, just a few sentences and some smiles exchanged, was really good for me. And I'm realizing I don't need to have someone living in my house or somebody calling me or texting me because I think they should, when I can be out and experience another human, that it was a totally spontaneous and unplanned connection. And so that's what I'm after tonight with our reading, is what is it that we need to know about being our best selves, the best version of ourselves, so that we don't miss any opportunities to be sent a little, I guess you could say it's like a telegram from the universe. I mean, that young man was so kind and friendly to me. If I met a man who treated me like that all the time, I wonder what that would be like. It's been a long time since I've been with someone, and I haven't been with the healthiest of relationships, and I really love my singleness. However, here the universe gave me this gift of these 3 or 4 sentences with someone. So anyway, now that I've all shuffled up and ready, here is our, wait, where did I put my cards for us to pick? Or hold on. I think I took them with me over here. So, oops, hold on just for a second. I appreciate you being patient with me, y'all. Yes, I left them over here. Here are going to be our 3 cards for you to pick which reading is going to be for you. Alrighty? And I'm using our True Love reading cards by Belinda Grace. So, universe, what is it that you have for my friends tonight? I'll just go this way. What is it that are the choices for the readings? And as always, if you enjoy readings like this, do hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up, because that really does help YouTube send people to me that can be inspired and encouraged by these readings. I specialize especially in people who feel awkward in social situations. Fish out of water is not an accident. I kind of have always thought I was born in the wrong nest. And so those are the people, the beautiful neurodivergent crowd that likes to follow my work. Okay. Sense this one right here. And then one more. We'll just have 3 piles. I like this one. Okay. All righty. Excellent. All right, let's see what our 3 piles are. Our first pile is sexual freedom. Our second pile is love. And our third is worthiness. So, physical freedom, the idea of the body and what the body has as a message for you, pile number 1. Pile number 2, the tenderness of love. What is it that the universe has for you? What have you been through? What is it that is your question about love itself? And pile number 3, worthiness, your self concept. You know, I think that we have different self concepts, we have different ideas about ourselves. And so, what is your soulmate self concept? What is your self concept when it comes to simply being a soulmate? What kind of partner are you? Are you willing to accept what it is that you really want versus what everybody else thinks that you want? Worthiness. Okay, so there's your 3 choices. Now I'm going to put the timestamps in the description so you can quickly go to your reading. And we'll start off with our physical intimacy and what is it that your body, the message of your body, that's pile number 1. Pile number 2, this would be a message from your heart with the heart of love. And this is so interesting how it turns out in pile number 3, it's a message about your mind and how you think you are in terms of what it is you deserve, your worthiness when it comes to soulmate attraction. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and I'll switch off. I'll come back here and welcome back, pile number 1. I'm glad to be here to help you with a situation around what it is that the message of your body, what is it that your body wants you to know that will help you to connect with partners who want more of a physical connection and also for building a family. This would be a card of procreation also, if that's something that you're wanting. For many people who are older or in a relationship where children are not an option, this would be more about the pleasure principle. Okay, so with that being said, let's just draw our cards here. And so first we have storm fields. Okay. We have Diana, focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and you will make your mark. A romance card. New love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Now, again, if you selected pile number 1 and you are with your partner, and you might see that card and think, oh, this is not my reading. I have my love. I don't need a new love. Well, the challenge is, can you find a part of your partner, something about your partner that you don't know at all? Is there a way to explore that person, even if you've been together over 10 years or more? Is there a corner of their personality that you don't know yet? Is there something about what their desires are intimately that you don't know and could maybe explore? Okay, that's Murphy. Murphy. Shh. Okay, and then let's draw this one card here. The true love. This is an or love oracle also, and we have open yourself to love. It is safe for you to let your heart be seen. Don't be scared. Interesting. So we're getting kind of this new love. So this reading is it's showing that there's been a little bit of upheaval, some storms, and the whipping up of a lot of emotion, possibly damaging. When you look at, let me just see what that is there. It could be a little home, this little red roof over here. It just brought my attention to it. So it seems like the storms have seemed like they were so huge that the narrative that you've been carrying around about love it's like the story has outlasted the truth of the situation. That whatever happened for you in your past, now I'm going to draw cards, but whatever happened to you in the past seemed so huge at the time, and it was, but you're not who you were then. And so it's time for considering getting things untangled and finding some peace of mind and separation, because the storm was a long time ago. So let's just lay our cards here. We have the star card. That's excellent. The card of healing, right? It goes along with this exactly right. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. So yes, if this is like, if you have been single for a long time, to heal from this past situation, this is your time. This is your reading. If you're in a relationship already, this again, it may be that you've been through that time where you're like, should I stay? Should I go? But you have not had clarity that this is the end and it's time to leave. There's something that's being healed here in order to get your full appetite of love, to be able to experience a connection that, where they get you, you get them, they want to know how your day was, that common everyday wonderful connection. If there's any chance that the current person you're with has a heart to build that, if that's for you to be healed, that's what you want to investigate. If this is a situation where you are single and looking, this is what you need to navigate. Being able to make sure we pull up by the roots anything growing from past pain, so that the seeds you plant right now in the soil of your heart is going to manifest itself into a lasting love. Okay. I like to say, what you talk about, you walk about, pile number one. And so we need to be so careful how you tell your story. If you tell a pain-based story, you keep reminding yourself of the past, and it was a long time ago. So this healing that's going on right now, I just give you credit, whether you've been doing personal development, you've been talking to your friends, or somebody recently has challenged you and said, isn't it time that you moved on? It was a long time ago. It's just a wonderful time for launching into something brand new. So with our card here, with focused intention, again, what you talk about, you walk about. What you think about, you bring about. What are your intentions? If you haven't taken a careful look at what it is that you're wanting when it comes to a soulmate relationship, this is a call for you. It's April right now. It's springtime. We're cleaning out the garden, all the weeds and the stones and logs and everything that are there, and getting ready to plant something new. Again, whether you're in a relationship or you are looking for one, we always can find ways that we can be our better self, that we can do some housekeeping, make sure that we're not echoing any heartbreak or disappointment from past life. We just don't need to carry that anymore. And what do we have here? The Fool. What a beautiful reading. Pile one, you win for best reading, but you're only pile one. But we have this beautiful cascade of events for you where you're ready for that new journey. You feel that you can protect yourself. You have achieved what even you never thought you could. There was a time that you were so heartbroken and you were so hurt and you weren't going to cave for anybody. You were like, no, that maybe I'm saying this to myself, but I can take care of myself. I know I will be fine. I will be fine. If you come out of a hurting relationship like I did, that was very much me. I will prove that I can take care of myself. And I have, and I do, and I will. But if you want to truly be in a partnership, you need to give away a little of that independence. Do you see any room for another person here? I don't. And yet, if you're wanting a closer connection, it's time to figure out how to lay down the sword, lay down the arrow, and find a place to make a space around yourself for love. Look at this beautiful Two of Wands. There's just such longing here. Look at how the Fool, the energy leaning forward, leaning into this girl who's got all of this fiery passion, all of this orange and yellow energy just fueling her desire to really make a move forward with love. And here we have the Nine of Pentacles, the wish fulfilled. So it does seem, I mean, I couldn't have handpicked these cards better for you, pile number one. So take notes and even go back and listen to this one again. But it's really very clearly showing that you getting sharp on your intentions right now. What is it do you want? Two of Wands is that launching energy. This is what the angels are saying. You are ready because what it is that you're planting. Remember back here, we want to root out the old thoughts and beliefs about love that you don't need anymore because true love wants to grow in its place. So this wish fulfilled, knowing that as you walk forward, you're going to feel more fulfilled in your relationships. When you meet people who get you, they may not even need to spend more than 5 minutes at a coffee shop. There's something about being with a human who can look you in the eye and be kind for a few minutes, especially in this day and age. The world is a very different place. And so watching for those opportunities to give out kindness, to stop thinking about what you're missing and start giving out what other people are missing, which is just the kindness of a stranger. You would not believe how that can change your life by small, simple kindness to strangers. Your energy right now is so purely, how can I say, there's a resilience about you. Okay, people that you don't even know admire your resilience, my dear pile number one. And people have been watching what you're going through. And the idea that you don't see yourself as attractive, not maybe beautiful attractive, but magnetic, that you may not feel yourself as charismatic and magnetic as you are, but everything says that you are. Now, when it comes to new love, it says a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Do you know who this person is? Is there somebody new in your life? We have the Emperor energy. So again, if you don't have this person in your life right now, somebody with extraordinary kindness and confidence, somebody who understands how life works, has a good work and play balance. Oh, and a romantic with the Knight of Cups showing up here under the new love. So this is somebody with maturity and a romantic. Now, if you already have somebody in your life, this person may be trying to be more romantic with you, but it might be coming across as a little silly. Be careful, you know how some people's personalities, they can get a little bit too silly for their own good. So in this case, what you're wanting is to be able to stay in a playful mindset as you're walking forward here. Okay. Because as you think about, the interesting thing here is to bring in the card that we started with here, with as far as the physical intimacy and the physical part of the connection. This whole reading is really about recognizing the stair steps that a person takes through life from 13 to 33 to 43 to 53. But as you learn to let go of these early intimate relationships because they just don't serve you. And right now, with making some focused intentions and really letting go of what happened in the past, as you learn to trust again and get involved with a strong personality that is quite romantic, it is going to engage you at a physical level. But what you're going to want to watch for is how they treat you um, outside of the bedroom, because that is what is going to help you create the sustainability. Okay. And this new love is really, there's a lot of stability here. The number 4, when it shows up, is such a card of stability. And I look at how this longing for love is, she's looking right up at her emperor. So, the genders don't matter here, but just there's this readiness and the humility to make something work with a sustainable and yet sustainable and yet lighthearted, romantic partnership that's ahead for you. And we have the Queen of Wands. So this is really a power couple here. This would signify this character, the resting, the healing, the launch into something new, the realization that there is healing ahead and that you can step out into a new narrative of your life when it comes to what goes on with you physically. If there are wonderful resources available, and it's very easy at this point. YouTube, you can Google and you can search for any topic. But if you do need confidence when it comes to the physical side of your life and love, well, for sure, email me. My email address is tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. And I'm more than happy to give you some resources that you can go and begin to learn about your body and about how to be more confident. Because this girl, she knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. And look how here she was just at the 2 of Wands. But when you do couple with somebody who knows how to lift you up and knows how to care for you and knows how to treat you the way you deserve to be treated, this partnership is so dynamic. I'm kind of jealous. I want to have these cards. Let's take a look at our last card here. Open yourself to love. So this is the kind of love that it's not going to be hard for you to open yourself up to that kind of love. The thing is about it, though, is that you may end up learning how to communicate and have a friendly, flirty energy in your everyday life, and just be open and friendly to people, meet people's eyes, and just with no agenda. You don't need for them to connect with you other than just, I call it social currency, just to practice flowing kindness back and forth with strangers will really help you. Because as you get used to this new relationship, and for you to realize that you are safe, you're going to be safe, it's going to be because there's a natural flow, and that it will evolve into the kind of partnership that you're looking for. All right. But it's so important that you honor anything within yourself that's just saying, wait, slow down. This doesn't feel quite right. And to be able to talk about it with your partner. Okay. Let's see what the tarot has to add. Okay, so we have the Hermit. So again, you may be coming out of a time of being a hermit, that you've been single for a while. I have a feeling I'm talking to some people listening who definitely have been single for a while. Me personally, I've been single 10 years. 10 wonderful years. I went and lived in Mexico for 4 years by myself. It was just been great. But I do enjoy being my own person, being my own partner. But is it enough? I've been challenged by people who love me. Are you sure you don't want a partner? I'm like, well, let me think about it, right? But if you're coming out of that hermit energy, it is, again, I just congratulate you for the time that you've chosen to seek out the healing that you need, and that you've looked at the past and you've looked at your own part. What are the storms that you've caused by overreacting to this problem or that problem or whatever it is that's causing your relationship drama of the past? I mean, there's hardly any humans I know that don't get to the age of 23 and haven't already been traumatized a few times and had their heart broken in terrible ways by very immature children pretending they're adults. Isn't it, when you say that's true, that everybody under 20 is very ill prepared to handle love? And yet, how many of us had those crushing early relationships, right? And so we have the Ace of Pentacles. What a beautiful card for us, because that's a new beginning. The pentacles, of course, have to do with your money, but they also have to do with your material life. And here we have the seed. Remember, we had the Seven of Pentacles back here, and we had the Nine of Pentacles, where there's that maturing of in the maturity to realize that your past is the past, that you can let it go, that you can make intentions. Sometimes being in therapy is helpful for a while, pile number one. I mean, sometimes the things that you went through in order to get to that fresh start, having a therapist can be helpful. I do tapping with my clients, and I find I've been tapping with people over 20 years, and I find that tapping is a great tool to help people step out again. Look, see, she's got her dream car, she's got the globe, she's ready to get back out, but something stops her. Tapping works for me. Yoga is a great tool. Whatever energy work you want to do to step out of that painful past, make some focused intentions, and then create some new love. Whether that's with your partner right now, or if you're attracting a person because you're ready to stop being a single and you want to plant a fertile seed for a brand new relationship. Whatever the energy is, this is extremely auspicious. I love that word. But this is a strong reading, pile number one, for seeing some real changes here in the next, throughout the summer, from now until the end of summer. And here we have the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is, as I look at this, where open yourself to love, this tells me everything we need to know. Look at her. She's tired of being the hermit. She's tired of constantly having to stay in the healing mode. She's ready to move forward. Look at this hand in the bottom right-hand corner where there's an offering of something new coming for her. So yeah, this is just wide open with possibility. My dear pile number one, a wonderful reading. I think that the next person that you're bringing in is going to help you heal in the physical way. I believe that their gentleness, that they're going to have leadership and gentleness, and they're going to care so much about your heart and about not frightening you. I love how there's this picnic planned, that there's an energy of wanting to love you in spite of some anxiety that you might have about your past when it comes to your physical life. Now I'm just going to draw, these are my gratitude cards. Whoa, thank you. Thank you. Two of them hopped out, and I just want to pick one more because this is your homework, pile number one, because I have found that gratitude is the magic elixir of life. There's just no question about it. That I'm not the one who made that up, haha. But if you're wondering about gratitude, you can do a YouTube search, and many, many, many teachers teach little lessons or even have meditations about gratitude, because gratitude will always give you what it is you're wanting. when it comes to connecting to whether it's your next boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, or your next position at work, or your next best friend. Whatever it is you're wanting to have more of in your life, gratitude will grease the wheels of that manifestation. So let's take a look here and see what we have. How can we show the earth we are grateful for all that it has provided for us? So these are journaling prompts that I want you to take seriously, because one of the things that I find when we're looking at people who are so eager to manifest love for themselves is that they're so focused on their own self, and they're so focused on the fact that they don't have what they're looking for, they forget to look for things to be grateful around them. So be sure to take this on, use that as a journaling prompt, please. Your second one is the most magical moment I've shared with a stranger was. So this is a perfect follow-up to that little bit of advice about expressing kindness wherever you go. Make a point of making eye contact with clerks in the store, waiters, waitresses, bus drivers, Uber drivers, anyone, people you walk by the street. Just look them in the eye and give a really warm smile that says, you matter, being kind. And then journal about this. Have you ever had a moment with a stranger? Now, this today, when that police officer stopped me, and I wasn't expecting for a police car to pull up next to me and roll down his window, but he was so charming and very friendly. We probably exchanged 3 or 4 sentences, but it lifted my heart. And that's what I'm finding, that when we take the pressure off of the person, that next person is going to be so marvelous and meet all of our needs that we won't have to ever be disappointed again, right? Which is kind of ridiculous, because being resilient with someone is really fun. Being able to have disagreements and then come back together and feel this, the heart, be able to come together and recreate a connection whenever there's a disagreement, to use the energy of disagreements to come closer together, not to be afraid. That's what we're after here. Okay, pile number 1. I just sense this overwhelming seriousness that the people that are drawn to this pile are just drawn to, there's something about it. It's like, yes, I know that my physical experience has been holding me back, and I'm determined I will find my way through this, because I want that partnership. I want to be with somebody that gets me more than anything else right now. And your last gratitude prompt is, write about a time someone forgave you for a mistake you made. This is excellent. When was the last time that you apologized to someone for making a mistake? If you can't think of it, that's a good sign. Murphy, stop. That's a good sign for you to do a little audit and think about the times where you have accidentally hurt someone's feelings, and then to be able to remember the story of how you apologized. Okay, this may be a very peripheral person. It might be a family member, but do yourself a favor and think about this one, because it feels good to forgive someone. And part of what happens when you find a sustainable connection is that your ability to weave in and out of apologies and, oh gosh, my bad. I can't believe I did that. Will you forgive me? I'm sorry. I didn't intend to say that. And another thing that I love, one of my real keys to success, pile number 1, are the words duly noted. Okay, so that if somebody confronts me and they say, you interrupted me a lot last night when we were out, and part of me might want to say, no, I didn't, right? But if I learn how to say duly noted, I love those words. I think that they're so respectful, and they're more action-based words. So if somebody confronts me and says, when we get together, you're late like every time, and I say, duly noted. that takes courage instead of wanting to say, well, I couldn't help it because there was a traffic jam, whatever it is. So that's just a bonus for you, pile number one. But anyway, thank you for being here with me. I appreciate your being here for this reading. I hope you feel inspired. Be sure to connect with me through the subscribe button and the thumbs up. Leave a comment. Of course, I should have been telling that all along, but I just don't think of all those things. But I'm just excited for you. Please let me know what's going on. Be blessed. Go forth and prosper, and we'll see you at your next reading. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. I'm so glad that you're here as we're talking about soulmate love and how to find a partner that can be fulfilling, sustainable and fulfilling, that becomes deeper and deeper as you develop with one another. You chose this beautiful love card, which does not show a couple. And I find that so intriguing. I'm just gazing at all of these hearts that are in this within this being, and so this card strikes me as carrying a very strong self-love element. That when it comes to matters of the heart, there may have been disappointments in the past where maybe it seems like when you trusted, like the second that you trusted someone and wanted to tell them something about yourself, it was then that it broke up or they ghosted you. There was something about the more vulnerable you were, it seems, the more the heartache, just this huge red heart. So it does seem that at this point, the energies are very strong. We've got excuse me just for a second, Bella. Thank you. Okay. We have a lot of juicy energy around love right now. And there's a woman, her name is Shelley Bullard. She has a YouTube channel, and I really enjoy her material on self love. She is pretty much a fanatic about it and has many meditations. And so, if that is something you would enjoy, I suggest it because she believes, as I do, that if you do have self love that includes kindness and compassion towards the errors that you think you made on the way to love, that's the best way to really attract the kind of love that you're looking for. All right. So I do see this, that I feel like in this, as far as the heart of love, I feel like this is definitely a heart issue, and that there has been some brokenness and some willingness to heal, but not knowing what to do next. Okay, so let's take that as our theme and let's draw our oracle cards. And first we have protected treasure. Yes, I mean, this totally reflects exactly what I was feeling, that there's a sense of fear of being open. It's like there's part of you that really wants to remain hidden. This is a beautiful card. I'm just going to look at it closely. Ah, yeah, just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And you can look at the princess. She's taken off her crown. See how it's sitting on the chest? And then she's just sheltering herself. Very interesting. But what I notice here, though, is that the storm is passing on this side, and the umbrella is covering her, protecting her on that side. Very interesting. Oops. Okay, and then we'll have our goddess card, and it's Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for today and all of your tomorrows. Oh, look at this. Isn't this fascinating? My dear pile number two, look. It's like the same character with the dark, oops, sorry. It's the dark hair, the hands up by the face. Isn't that something? So yeah, and this reminds me of a turkey vulture. The turkey vulture is a card that's one of the animals of healing, and the meaning of it is nothing is wasted. Sometimes the difficult relationships between the age of like 13 and 23, those relationships are so very tender. And a lot of times we are so brokenhearted that age, it echoes throughout our whole time. even when you're like in your 60s, you could still have a broken heart of something that happened when you were 13. Not even kidding. So I feel like this is so tender that pile number 2, those of you who are drawn to this reading, the angels are here with you, and they're feeling you, that they don't want you to give up on your dream, to have that close relationship with someone who knows how to handle it. You know what I mean? Like they know how to, for example, sometimes certain partners make a joke at the exact wrong moment, like right when you're saying something important, they might make a joke and it ruins the moment. Those kinds of things can just really break a rapport that you've got with someone. And when you're young, sometimes it's hard to be teased. Sarcasm is not one of the preferred love languages, pile number 2, is it? So let's see what our romance card is. Healing family issues. Yeah, there's definitely a healing vibe on you, pile number 2. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Okay, so we definitely see some family of origin. Excuse me for a second. Bella, 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 just lay down, girl. She's pawing at the bed. Anyway, when this card comes out, it might be your family of origin, but it might be any family kind of drama. This could even be if you worked for a family business. I'm getting the sense that for somebody, this is a very specific thing, but like maybe in an insurance agency or a real estate agency, something where there was a family and that you saw some dynamics that were not appealing to you at all. And you began to think, is there anything that's better than what I've seen? So it does look like, I can't wait to draw the cards and see, but there's definitely something I'm sensing that you kind of had an imprint. And even when I look at this card, see, it almost looks like a imprint, a fingerprint here with those, the different ridges, that something around love was like what do you call that, misinformation, that something that you thought was true about love when you were younger is not true. There's been some illusion. I remember many years ago, oh, by the way, I do have a blog that's called Breakup Candy. You can go to breakupcandy.com because every breakup has something that is a sweetness. There's a little bit of sweet in every person you were ever with until it wasn't sweet anymore. But that blog has got a bunch of articles about breakup recovery. So you can sure go, don't look at it right now, but you can look at it later. But I have a feeling that some heartbreak in the past, pile number 2, is also echoing back to your childhood, family memories. And then this card we have of gratitude. You need to be grateful for the love already present in your life to attract more of it. Yes, I feel this is like the frosting on the cupcake of life. You might say to me, well, duh, anybody knows that. And I can appreciate that. But on this particular card, I love the heart that's like in the EKG machine. Is that the right one where it goes beep, 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 beep? And I think that today's reading for you, pile 2, is about breathing life into love again, to just be able to allow spirit to wash you through and through. I'm going to recommend that you go check out Louise Hay on YouTube. Her inner child meditations, just beautiful. But her voice and listening to meditations on the inner child will just help wash through your spirit and give you a refreshment here, because you're being called to that. At this point, we're a little bit into 2024, and you know what is not happening in your life when it comes time to love, right? Pile number 2. And part of you is like, okay, no more bullshit. Excuse me. But I'm cutting to the chase. I want to make a difference in my life. I want something to happen, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get that. So this is just with the oracles. So this is going to be your homework. And now let's draw the tarot and let's see what it is that we have. Okay, there's our lead. Just lay out the cards here. I feel pile number 2 that part of what's going on for you is that you know what? I'm getting a deep feeling in my heart that you might have been a child in your family where people said, "Oh, you've got to have a tougher skin. You take things too personally. You don't have a sense of humor." And I'm just sensing that somebody here on in pile number 2 that that's something that's hard for you, that your sense of humor didn't match the people that you grew up with, and that's part of what made you feel like you were born in the wrong pond. Born in the wrong pond is that what it is? Oh, born in the wrong nest, in the wrong pond. You know what I mean. Okay, so pile number 2. Let's take a peek here and see. So this protecting treasure. Or I can't wait. I just feel these 2 cards are so intimately connected because I feel like in your where you're protecting your treasure with all your heart because you feel like there's if something gets used up here, it'll be gone forever. But this is infinite supply, so what is the key here? What are we wanting to learn? Our first card, aha, 7 of Swords. Was there some cheating that went on? Was that part of this original heartbreak? And we have Ace of Cups. So did something was not what it seemed? That let's see, the Death card. Oh gosh. Okay, so this explains her completely. Something happened where you thought it was your happily ever after. You thought it was your King of Hearts. Again, gender doesn't matter here, but with this early relationship, I would go back, look back into your mind and your heart, but somewhere early on, something happened that made you think that cheating was happening. Now, it may not have been. I mean, you may have seen something or you may have heard some gossip, and something happened that absolutely killed this relationship. It may have been gossip, it may have been that you saw something, but when you realized that this person was not who you thought they were, it was heartbreaking for you. And you slammed a part of your heart shut. And you promised yourself that you would never trust again. It was very serious. But then as you lived beyond that time, you realized that's not what you wanted, that you weren't even feeling alive anymore. See how the color has just drained out? And that there has to be another way, that learning the lesson of what happened back then, could it be possible that it would help you to formulate a relationship goal that was more reasonable for you? Or maybe you're simply in a better spot to know what it is that you really want. So let's see what the cards have to say. Yes, I love this, the Hierophant. So this is that card of traditional partnerships. This is a card that shows up when marriage is in the cards, so to speak. But look at the joy on this face. This is someone who the angels are using this energy to show you that if you desire a traditional couple, a marriage, or a committed couple, absolutely possible for you. Look at the difference in color between these two. This is like death and life, isn't it? There's a part of you that is tired of living with the chest being closed. A closed chest, a closed heart. Lay your hand right on your heart right now, right on the center of your chest, and just sense that for a second, that you have locked your heart. If you're in a relationship right now, It may be on its last leg because you don't have what it takes to sustain it. This is why we're having this reading. But also, if you're determined to find your life partner, you haven't found it yet, this part of you that you voluntarily cut off all those years ago, this is the part that wants the new life. The universe is saying to you, is it possible? Hell to the yes. But look at, he's at the bottom of the staircase. So you have some ascension to do. Whatever it is, whether it's counseling, whether it's yoga, I do tapping with my clients. I've been tapping with people for over 20 years. Tapping is a wonderful way to climb this staircase because as you relieve yourself of the weight and the burden of the pain and disappointment from love, whatever tool you pick, the energy work will work. Okay? It's a great first step to go get the inner child meditation from Louise Hay. It's a great place to start. All right? Reach out with an email. I'd love to hear from you. It's tarotinfoplease@gmail.com. And if this particular card is resonating with you, then add a comment below and say, I am ready to ascend. I am ready to ascend. Because that path will draw you to the kinds of people that will deeply fulfill you. All of us, as we take that ascension path, we want to simply radiate our best version of ourselves. This is what will bring us the most ease and peace with the people that we attract. 8 of Cups. Love this for us, for you guys. I said for us, again, walking away from what doesn't serve you anymore. And she's not, notice how she's not sitting, she's not passive. A part of you wants to move away from what's been holding you back. I imagine that you feel like you've been caught in a bit of a tug of war, like it feels like you're the rope because part of you wants to move on, but part of you is afraid. But it's time. You're tired. There's no more life left with holding on to that old pain. It's time. It's ready to be departed. Yep, here's your journey, right? I love the 10 of Wands because it shows that a cycle is just about completed. The wands are your manifesting power, and it's time for you to graduate. You are ready. You've carried the weight long enough. You've carried the weight long enough. Add that comment. I've carried the weight long enough. Because there is an answer here. There's an answer for you in this energy work that you can do. If that word energy work, if that's new for you, drop it a comment. Say, I don't know what you mean, energy work, and I'll give you a resource. But there's one wonderful person you can look up. It's called tapwithbrad.com. Tapwithbrad.com. There are literally hundreds of scripts for removing heartbreak and creating more flow in your life. I love Brad. You cannot go wrong with him. He's a wonderful, wonderful teacher, and he's got tons and tons of resources out there. So here we have the healing of the family issue. So what's going on? What's going on here? Let's take a peek. And we have the 3 of Pentacles. This is the teamwork card. And so with the idea, this is, when I look at this card, this is a card of what sometimes I would say is like a hard-working family card. So you may have felt a little bit neglected or a little bit lonely. Maybe you were an only child, but it was like everybody was too busy for you. Everybody had stuff to do and you spent a lot of time alone. So that's been part of what's scaring you, quite frankly, because you don't want to be in that kind of situation anymore. You want to be able to enjoy the person that you're married to or that you're committed to. And you want them to be successful because you want to feel provided for and you like nice things, not, but that's important to you. But it's very important that they prioritize you too. That part of healing your expectations about what's possible for you when it comes to love comes to having that work-life balance in the people that you relate to. You may be even someone who, even friends of yours, that they will put their work before they spend time with you. And that kind of sucks, doesn't it? I have some friends like that. And I want to say, you're working too hard, come play with me, but you can't force someone. But this is just the things that you can start to notice when you step out and start meeting people. You, now that you become more clear what it is that will make you feel fulfilled in your next partner. And we have our Three of Wands. So this is the card of taking steps forward, empowerment. She's off to an adventure. She's ready. And we have two threes. Very interesting. Okay, and let's take our last one. And we have Page of Cups. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is it takes some effort for sure. Uh, Practical, I think if pile number two, I'm sensing that you would really profit from some journaling, some scripting. You can. There's a woman online. Her website on YouTube is Life by Lucy, and it's Lucie. She has some scripting videos that are absolutely excellent. They tell you exactly how to script. I use her techniques, but I'm feeling like you do need to get ready for some working in order to get what it is that you're wanting, because you have some mindset issues around taking care, making sure you don't get hurt again. And when you're manifesting, sometimes you have to take risks in order to step out. This is a playful card, the Page of Cups, but notice the release, the letting go of the past people. And there's this cup that's attached. So some of your current beliefs about love are simply not useful anymore to you. What you used to think was love back then, this is not the same kind of love that you want today. So this is kind of like your marching orders in order to get yourself ready for permanent love here. You do need to look back and do some healing with some journaling, some scripting. There's some wonderful, wonderful books to read. There's a book called The Soulmate Secret by Ariel Ford. It walks you through each chapter. There are exercises and processes that you can do to see yourself as the kind of person that deserves to have this kind of love. Okay. And so over here, this is so cool because I'm a real gratitude fan. By the way, if you're enjoying this reading, please do hit the subscribe. I'm always forgetting to say that. Your thumbs up means a lot to me. Your comments mean the world to me. Thank you. Thank you. But some of you know that I got mentioned in a book. Pam Grout wrote a book called Thank and Grow Rich. And for some reason, she picked my story to go into her book. And with my website, manifestfaster.com, right there in my book, in her book in 2016, I didn't even have to write my own book to have people hear of me. Isn't that crazy? But this thing about being grateful no matter what is completely valid, proven. Pam Grout is the real deal. She is somebody I trust implicitly to teach the simplicity of living a grateful life. Highly, highly recommend. It's hard, and some people who have been through some very violent past, some boyfriends, girlfriends, partners have done despicable things. I don't want to mention them here, but it is possible to find a way through gratitude to blow the candle out, like blow the flame of the hurt out, to have a fresh start. For a lot of people, therapy is important, pile two. And so if it's too much of a burden for you to carry here, don't hesitate to ask for help. Either, you know what's a great place to go is Al-Anon. A lot of times, the alcohol is part of family history, and Al-Anon was one of the tools that I used. It was free of charge, and I felt loved there. Okay, But I just feel such tenderness here for y'all in pile number 2. So let's get what it is the universe has for you here in this gratitude message. And first we have the Devil card. Now in this particular card, this is one that's tricky, right? Because how is it that we can be grateful for temptations? How is it we can be grateful when we're hurt or manipulated? Many times through physical relationships or for love relationships end up being filled with manipulation, don't they? And it's pretty horrible. Notice the little puppet at the bottom here. See how one person is manipulating the other. So when you see this in the gratitude part, what it's reminding you of is you're not there anymore. There's freedom from that kind of manipulation and control. One of my partners was a fairly dangerous individual and certainly unkind. And so the fact that I'm living free of his influence at this point is so appreciated. Sometimes I might think of him and feel a wince. You know how if you wince or you cringe at a memory, but I can be so grateful that I am not with him now. We also have the King of Pentacles. What a wonderful replacement energy. What a wonderful thing to have these two cards, the King of Pentacles, which is a maturity. This would go along with our Hierophant energy over here, where this person has ascended. They have the maturity to appreciate what they have. They're smart managers, generous, and very grounded. So, what a wonderful contrast that to be grateful that you are not living back here in this energy anymore, pile number 2, but that you're stepping forward, that this is the leading edge of this reading is so cool. And our final card here, the Empress. Are you kidding? The Empress is like my favorite card. Look at how it's shown that she's pregnant. So certainly if you are of childbearing age, be careful in that regard. But it's just all possibilities. This is the Queen of the Queens. The 4 queens are in deference to the Empress. And to have this Empress card here, I wish that I could fully communicate to you how cool this is, pile number 2, to have this card here, these 3 cards with our gratitude message. I'm especially grateful for you guys because this is tender. The people that are listening to this, my heart goes out to you. And I never want you to feel like what you went through in your early years with love was to be discounted or dismissed as unimportant. That is not the truth. This was a very tender, difficult situation. And you really did believe for a long time that keeping closed, keeping your chest closed, keeping your heart closed was the safest way for you to go. But the universe is so clearly saying that it's time for you to take some steps and get yourself back out there. One of the best ways to get out there is volunteerism. Find something in your city that you love. If you love animals, then volunteering at the pet stores to socialize the animals. I did that. Being able to work, maybe you love fashion, you could volunteer at a vintage clothing store where they help people who are down on their luck with clothes. You can always find somebody who has it a little worse off than you. And I find that volunteerism is just an excellent way to remind myself how blessed I am in my lifetime. So here I have your homework, my darling, pile 2. These are things these are gratitude prompts. So for journaling now, to follow up on this reading, I so invite you to grab a piece of paper and let's see what we have. The safest space I've ever been in was. This is wonderful. What a great self-reflection. As you sit here today and you just ask yourself, where did I feel the safest? Where did I feel the safest? What was going on? Write a little story about that. Remind yourself. How long ago was it? Why was it meaningful? Does it become real in your imagination as you think about it? The second one, what song do the trees sing in the spring? What song do they sing in the fall? I love this one for looking at your creativity and to be able, because I do think that in manifesting, it's the creativity that is our key in what when we're setting that intention for what kind of love you want to manifest. So use your imagination. You like music, pick a song. Pick a song for the spring, pick a song for the fall. What pleases the trees? And your last one, who was the last person that you expressed gratitude toward and how was it received? That's a good one. A lot of times, especially after reading Pam's first book, Pam Grout wrote E Squared. That was the first book that she wrote, E Squared, and I love that book. And actually, I had such good luck with it. It's a manifesting book. And so many things happened that I wrote her a thank you note. And I sent an email and thanked her for her book. Well, wouldn't you know, she wrote back and wanted to talk to me. So when I said thank you to her, my whole life changed. So I love to be able to tell that story. So why is gratitude so important? Because everybody, you are always right in the middle. It's the magic of the bell curve. There's somebody in your life who has a lot better than you do, and there's somebody that you know that has a lot worse than you do. And you are somewhere in the middle. And when you practice being grateful for the things in your life right now that you remember, oh, yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for trees. I lived in the desert for quite a few years, and I'm really enjoying Tennessee because of the trees. So the idea of being grateful for the most common things empowers you and prepares you for love like nothing else. So there you have it, pile number 2. My heart goes out to you. I know you're on the right track. If you need some advice or you're not sure what to do next, please shoot me an email or leave a comment, and I'm happy to refer you to some resources that would be helpful. And if you'd like to do some tapping with me, let me know. I'm right here, ready to help you out. So go forth and prosper. Have a beautiful rest of your week. And thank you so much for listening to your reading. We'll see you next time. Hey there, pile 3. Welcome. I'm so glad that you're here for the reading. I love the idea that you were intrigued by this soulmate self-concept. What is that? The idea of who you are as a soulmate. You know, when you look in the mirror or you look into a beautiful lake and you see the reflection of your face and you think, what am I as a soulmate? What makes me the perfect match for my ideal person? So that is going to be the theme of your reading, pile number 3. And if it's your first time here, thank you so much for visiting. And if you're back, you know I love when you visit my channel. And so thank you so much. And be sure to hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up, and of course, I love to see your comments. If there's a pick a card reading that you'd like me to do, let me know, and I may choose your idea next. So let's take a peek here and see what the oracles have for us when it comes to building that sense of worth. So now worthiness, sometimes to me, people think about worthiness and it's like, oh, I was sinful, or I've done something wrong, or I don't deserve to be loved. But what I'm looking at here, when I look at the color of the reflection in the pond, what I'm noticing is that it's gold. So what I'm thinking of is worthiness, worth. That this reading, pile number 3, is about what you are worth. You are worth your weight in gold, period. And so we're going to be looking for the cards to support this idea of seeing yourself as worth something comparatively, like to gold, versus worthy, like I'm deserving, or I used to think I was a bad person, so I didn't deserve something. Whereas I'm saying, no, no, no. I want us to be thinking that just your personality, the who you have touched on this planet, who you have loved throughout your life, the kindnesses that you've done, and it's no accident that strangers are easier to be kind to than your family. I get that. I have that in my life also. But you have brought so much true value to human beings over your lifetime. Okay? And the truth is that you have so much worth as a human. Now, don't get all uppity on me, because the truth is every human has that same worth because of what we have brought, the kindnesses that we've brought, the smiles that we've brought to other humans who weren't in alignment with their own family, or that they needed to have a touch and they needed to know they mattered, and you were that person to do that. Okay, so there's a worth to your beingness, and that's what we're calling out. So let's pick the cards. First one we have, oh, I love this card. This is my very favorite card in this whole deck, the Gentle Gardener. You guys know I have a fairy garden in the middle of the woods near my house, and it's my favorite place to be. But what sticks out at me here, my dear pile number 3, is, have you been a little bit hard on yourself? Do you tend to, that saying, beat up on yourself, where if you make an error in judgment or something happens that you feel I shouldn't have done that. I should know better. And how could I have made that mistake? And I don't want them to be disappointed in me. And the fact is that, where did that idea come from that we get to be that mean to our own self? Where did that idea come from that we could criticize our own self? The fact is that the dear divine energies that are God, or whatever it is you call them, they're so gentle. They don't want you to suffer. They want you to find an easy way. They want you to make, you know how they say, don't make mountains out of molehills? Right. Well, you should make all your mountains down into molehills. Whatever your problems are, make them this small in your vision. If we really do believe that we have spiritual guidance, and we really do believe that if we choose to be our best selves, that our life will make more sense to us, then let's step up to the plate and do it. And the number one thing, stop being so hard on yourself. Okay? If you can relate to this, put in the comments below, I am learning to be patient with myself. Go ahead, add it. I am learning to be patient with myself. It's a good lesson. Okay, let's see what's next. And we have Coventina, purification. It is time for a cleansing detoxification of your body and mind. Absolutely. There's been a part of you that has been holding yourself captive. It's like you're blaming yourself for something, or you're just looking at your past and thinking, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that. And there's no point to that. It's time to let go of that, to let go and trust that the divine is going to bring you everything you need in the future. We're going to rid you and be willing to let go. I'm going to give you an idea on how to do that. Let's get your cards out first. And our love and romance angels, we have, give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. So what I'm seeing here, my dear pile number 3, I think this might be calling you to the relationship with yourself first. When it says give your relationship a chance, I think that whether you are in a current relationship or not, that right now you are needing to make progress. There's something around your energy where people are seeing you as very focused on your personal development. And some people in your life might even been telling you, we're having a hard time relating to you. You spend so much time reading your books, we miss you. I don't know if that's true for you, but sometimes we can get a little bit absorbed in our own issues, but for our own good, because we really do want to improve. However, in your loving relationships, though, it may be time for you to put some focus on how other people are interpreting you, both in your family, your friends, and your most intimate loved ones. Are they seeing you accurately? Do you feel misunderstood at all? What is this energy about? We'll dig in here and find out in a minute. And this one, new love. Whoops. Yeah, okay. A new chapter begins, whether it is with a new partner or in a current relationship. I feel this completely. I feel that there is something about what's been happening with you, that something started you looking at your own worthiness. You may have read a book, you may have had a friend tell you that you have low self-esteem and you have to look at this and why is your self-worth so low. So you started to look into it, but it almost feels like the more you looked into it, the more stuck you felt, and it's been holding you back because you're expecting yourself to act different than you are. Very hard on yourself. Okay, so let's draw our tarot cards here. Okay, let's see what's going on. Okay, with our gentle gardener card, we have, okay, 8 of Swords. Oh, interesting. 3 of Cups. Okay, so this is a situation, my friend, where Page of Swords. You know what? I'm picking up here. I'm wondering if it was friends that were betraying you. Here we have, are there 3 friends here? No, there's only 2. I'm sensing here that there is a little betrayal, a little bit of misunderstanding. Okay, so the big thing I'm getting here is misunderstanding, that things happened in the past. I've said this has come up for all 3 readings, where there's something about the age of 13 to 23 where a lot of people have a heartbreak that is so exquisitely painful because it's so young, the freshness of it. But this is bringing up to me some betrayal, something where friends turned against you. Sometimes the friendships get loyalty problems when you're young because you end up dating your best friend's boyfriend, or you end up with your cousin's boss's daughter or something, where it's kind of somebody knows somebody, and there were lessons to be learned, but there was a sharp edge to it. But this card with our 8 of Swords here, there's something in you that's creating your own drama. And when I talked up here about that inner critic, the voice inside that is just criticizing you right and left, because some part of you thinks that you should have been smarter. You may have had 3 friends turn against you, and it ended up, you second guessed yourself. Should you have been able to know that was coming? And I think that's put you in such a lonely place in lifetime, so that even romantic relationships took on even more importance, because social relationships were a little bit fractured. And so right now, when we talk about it's time to clean up, yes, it's time. Okay, that was the case. That was then, this is now. So the whole idea of doing some energy processes, I do tapping with my clients. There's a man named Brad Yates. He's called tapwithbrad.com right here on YouTube. He's fantastic. He's got tons of YouTube videos on tapping for self-concept, and I highly recommend. He's brilliant. So, but let's just see here, what is it about cleansing yourself from the self-criticism, being so hard on yourself? Yeah, so this is that card. This is about those inner arguments where you're like, one side of you goes, well, what if I do this? And the other side goes, well, then that might happen. What if I do that? Well, then that might happen. And before you know it, you've got so much confusion that you don't do anything. The cool thing is, though, even though it looks like there's conflict here, there's not conflict. It's like training. So you're being called right now to look at what's going on in a different view. Look carefully at the places in your life where patterns have repeated. Have you been betrayed more than one time? What can you learn about your past connections that will empower you to make a lasting connection with somebody new? I love that this man at the top, that he's reaching for the light, right? It's answers are always reaching for the light. The position of this card with reaching up toward this the cleanliness of just releasing yourself from old memories that have been troubling you and making room for what's coming ahead in the future here. Very cool. And here, this card keeps showing up in everybody's reading. Two of Wands. Look at her energy, right? She is wanting to go forward. She's ready. Something is holding her back. She's got her little vision board there. See the vision board with the van and her surfboard. She's ready to go. But it's almost as if something needs to give her permission. What is that? Now, in the way the cards are falling, her back is to this conflict. So she doesn't want to look at it. A lot of times there's just a kind of, they call it toxic positivity, where you can get yourself so geared towards positive affirmations and wanting to keep yourself in a positive mindset that you're not able to process what's going on. Because what's going on is that your mind is in training right now. You're learning how to reject thoughts that don't serve you. One of my favorite sayings is, what you think about, you bring about. What you talk about, you walk about. So being disciplined about getting rid of thoughts that don't serve you, the self-critical thoughts that keep you frozen, right? Being able to ignore those and not empower them. That's what's going to help you get through this window and go on your way. Yes, it's perfect with the Page of Wands. You have this lovely, youthful energy. So if you've been feeling tired, these two pages to me are very encouraging, because in, what was it? What card am I thinking of here? Oh, with the idea of being able to keep yourself open to the changes that are coming forward for you. The pages are almost as important as the aces. The aces are, of course, the beginning of a journey with that suit. And this is the suit of your manifestations, and this is the suit of your thoughts. So ace through 10 is where the journey is in training and development. And then when you get to the pages, you're at that court card level, and it's like the graduate level of those skill sets. That's the way I like to understand it. So there's a lot of joy, a lot of youthful enthusiasm, a lot of graduation energy. Now I'm ready to move on. Okay, wonderful rush of energy going forward. So now what we know is that there has been some pain in your past relationships. This could be your family of origin. It could be ex-bosses or ex-collaborators. Have you been hurt? Have you had hurt feelings from any loving or respect? Like if you expect respect and it doesn't happen, that can impact your self-confidence for love and seeing yourself as worth defending. Okay, so let's see what the cards have for us. And the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a fabulous card because it shows that you personally are taking the pause to stop for a minute here in your soulmate journey and to be able to say, okay, I'm going to evaluate where I am and what's going on. to have this card supporting this audit. I feel like for you, this is an audit card. What relationships in your past are broken right now? Are you in estrangement? Right now, I am. I have estrangement in my family. And sadly, because of some political issues that have separated our family, and also geographical because we live all over the place. So I am not close to some family members as I am to others. But these are things that I don't harbor bitterness about. I'm able to be at peace, and I'm able to create a comfort zone around that. But if you have what I call prickly energy, if some people in your family or past friends and lovers cause you to cringe tightly, this is something energy work can help you with processes. So, one of the things that I like to do in these circumstances is with journaling, that imagining writing a letter to, so let's say you find 3 people in your past who you just feel, it's not like you're bitter or hateful or resentful towards them. It's just that they hurt your feelings and there's an echo of that. So writing a letter to them, and you're never going to send it, but just send it, write it and say, I was terribly hurt when you said that, and I wish you wouldn't have done it. And then, I know this sounds a little flaky, but it really is helpful. Write a letter back to yourself from that person, and acting as them, write the kind of letter that you wish you received. Receive or give or receive an apology, and make it have peace. There's a lady online named Life by Lucie, Lucie. She's on YouTube, and she teaches the scripting technique. And I don't need to teach what she teaches because she's an expert at it. But I love the idea of using journaling to kind of finish off some of these older connections that really, they don't need to hold you up anymore. Okay. So that also, isn't that beautiful? The world card. So what this is showing me, gosh, I'm thrilled for you, because what this shows me is that the whole new world, with Ariel in the Disney movie, but that you're ready to leave this everything behind, that this kind of being hard on yourself and being worried and scared about going forward, you're really ready. You're super ready. And we look at creating that worth, that you see your value as a soulmate, that you bring a lot to the table. Yes, you do. Making a list of what makes you an ideal partner is a very good thing to do, because you bring a lot of resilience, creativity, gentleness, and love to the equation. So after you finish journaling the letter to confront and forgive this person, then you can get busy and write your list, not the list of the kind of soulmate you want. No, no, no. We already did that list. We want to write the list of what makes you a great soulmate. What are the things about you that make you an ideal partner? That's a fun list to write. And we have the tower here. So this tower being here, what I love about this card is that it is allowing you to recreate in a major way this version of yourself with no worth, that this is no more, that you are taking that old idea of yourself that there's other humans that have more worth than you, like if they're super rich, super beautiful, or super thin. But there's other humans that have more worth than you, and that's not true. All of us have equal worth. Our abundance comes in the form of our breath. There's not a human on the planet who exists without breath, right? We're all able to create these changes for ourselves. We're all on equal ground, but it's a huge change to take responsibility for yourself instead of letting blaming others control your life. So it's a big change, but it really works. For when you start to take responsibility and do some tapping, some yoga, going to an Al Anon group can be helpful. There's tons of books and videos on manifesting your soulmate. Um, who is it that, oh, Shelley Bullard, if she has a YouTube channel, she's awesome with manifesting a soulmate, easily can show you right with her videos. And yes, she sells programs, but you don't need to buy them if you don't want. She puts her information for free right out there. And last year, I think it was, or maybe 2 years now, totally met her soulmate and married him, right? But it's almost like you have to let your old feelings just let them fall apart, because your old way of doing things hasn't worked so far, right? And so what does all this do for you? All this, I know it feels like work. I hope you're not overwhelmed by it, because it's really, really worth it to find that person who can bring you the fulfillment that you're looking for. To know that you matter, that you feel safe. All that is so possible as you create this vibration about yourself that you are a great partner for someone, that because of how you are valuing yourself. So let's see what the new love cards are. Can't make this up. Wish fulfillment, 9 of Cups. Unbelievable and fabulous promise for you, my dear pile 3. The 3 of Pentacles, the teamwork card, the card of promise as far as working together. That as you pull, it's almost like pulling together the 3 parts of your own self, your spirit, your mind, and your body, how you think, how you believe, how you feel, how you act, and pulling all that together and just allowing yourself to can just be in the right place at the right time. I do strongly recommend following a book, or a book would be a great idea. There's a book called The Soulmate Secret, written by Ariel Ford. It's like a cookbook, a recipe book. It takes you by step with some very creative and fun processes where you can walk right through the book and learn a little bit about how she went through these steps to attract her soulmate, Brian. She tells a wonderful story. Okay. But anyway, let's see. Our last card here is the King of Swords, clarity. Okay. So, my dear pile number 3. How can I say this? You better get sunglasses, because the future is looking very bright. Okay. I see you as being incredibly resilient. You have battled back from betrayal. You have set your mind to learn. You don't want to be foolish. You don't want to make a mistake. The problem is that it's frozen you in time a little bit. You are not who you were then. As you do this audit and write a list of the people who have hurt your feelings, people in your orbit, in your world, that have betrayed you or disappointed you over time, lovers, friends, family members, and make a choice with each of them to let them go. Allow them to break away from your energy. In order to do that, write a short note to each one. Confront them on what they did and how it hurt your feelings. Turn the paper over and imagine them writing to you, apologizing. Every one of them. It doesn't take that long. You're going to be surprised how well that works. Stepping out of that into this energy, you want to be watchful, mindful of social invitations. You want to be careful to say yes whenever possible. There's going to be some surprising opportunities for you. Doing the energy work that you need to do to just mature your own view of yourself. I don't know if you just passed a major important birthday or something, pile number 3, but I'm sensing that some of you, you're doing kind of a life uh, inventory where you're thinking, okay, this is where I am right now, and I really want to be somewhere else by the holidays this year. By the time Christmas comes this year, I want to be in a completely different situation. I'm feeling that energy here. So if you need help here, that you want to move energy around your past, I would love to work with you. I'll just tell you that right now. I love doing tapping with people. And if this sounds like something you would want to do, be sure to email me at tarotinfoplease@gmail.com and let me know what's going on. I've been doing tapping over 20 years, like I said before, and I find it so easy to learn and well worth your time, okay? So one of the things that I have found, here's the frosting on your cupcake. I always think this looks like frosting on a cupcake, about the lesson of gratitude and the fact that in gratitude, it helps us realize that there's some people that are going through worse than what we're going through. There's people that are going through a better situation that we're going through, that their life right now, that they're in a lucky spurt and everything seems to be good for them. And you look at their life and think, this isn't fair. How come everything goes so good for those people? So the gratitude task is where you choose to find something to be grateful for, even if you're feeling ill at ease or like you're confused or you don't know what to do next. Those are the times when gratitude has the most power of all. And so, because of that, we're going to take a look here at these gratitude journaling prompts for you to finish the reading. And the first one is, I am grateful that I had the opportunity to experience blank. So, with this falling in this part of the reading, my challenge to you is that you take an experience that was from your heartbreak chapter and that you find one of them that you can be grateful. I'm going to give you an example. The first thing I want to tell you is that I have a blog that's called Breakup Candy. Breakup Candy is a blog about breakup recovery because you have to find a little bit sweet in every breakup in order to fully recover. There was something good until it wasn't. In this particular thing, I have a friend who divorced her husband many years ago, but she is still very good friends with her husband's sister. Okay, so she is super grateful that she's had the opportunity to experience the friendship of this woman, but it came through pain. See what I mean? So, see if you can think of a couple of things where it started out as a painful experience. Another one for me was, even though when I went through a serious illness, and it was pretty scary for me, I am so grateful that I had the opportunity to experience the sweet, loving care of that one guy in the radiation room. He wore a leather pouch around his neck with a crystal and an eagle talon in it. And I'm grateful I got to experience somebody like that who was helping me in such a terrible time. Isn't that something that I don't want to think about? That was a terrible time. But yet, if I didn't have that experience, I would have missed the experience with that guy. That's what we're talking about, is trying to, find that something to be grateful for in spite of what's going on. Our next one is, how did it feel when you last stepped out of your comfort zone? Yes, yes, yes. So this falling right here, right where we're doing the hanged man and our inventory of hurt feelings, right? So right now it might be outside your comfort zone to do this kind of work. That might mean that you do want to talk to somebody. Even sometimes a counselor or a therapist can be helpful, or you could take a writing class at your area junior college and do some guided imagery writing and stuff that might help. But the point is, though, that this is great. Think back in your life. When did you go out of your comfort zone? When did you go through with an interview that you really didn't want to do? When did you accept an invitation that everything in you was screaming, don't go, but you made yourself go? When did you agree to go somewhere that you knew was going to be uncomfortable, but you went to support someone else, right? Find something and then celebrate yourself. That takes guts. And the last one, describe the last time you danced in the rain. Now, if you haven't danced in the rain, I love that this card is falling at this spot, because many of my favorite teachers online right now, and there's one called, it's the Divine Imagination, Joseph Ally. I really enjoy his work because he's all about using the imagination, and he expresses it very, very clearly. He's the King of Swords. He's a computer guy, a geeky guy who teaches very organized, logical manifesting stuff. He's good. I like him. But that thing that he teaches about is if you live as if you live as if you already have your thing. So here, if you want to build a sense of a new worth, I am worth my weight in gold. My humanity is as worth value as any other piece of humanity. I am valuable. And you take that in, then he would say you live as if that's true already, even though you might not feel that way. And if you hang out with my little readings, that's what all my daily readings are all about, finding that place of living as if. So here, any is a call for you to use your imagination. So if we do this as a writing prompt and you can't remember the last time you danced in the rain, then I'm challenging you to this. In your journal, imagine you were in a place where it hadn't rained in a year, a desert type of a place. It hasn't rained in a full year. There's a layer of dust laying on everything, just that's natural for the environment. And rain comes. Not a storm, but just a gentle overnight rain. And that rain washes all the dust off of everything. And in the morning, the sun sparkles everything. And I want you to close your eyes for a minute as I describe that. And then I challenge you to write a short journal passage. And then your goal is to feel grateful for what rain does. It's dancing in the rain in your mind, which is a fabulous exercise for any kind of manifesting. Also, the next time it rains outside, get outside and walk in it. I like to walk in the rain with my dogs when the weather's nice and there's no thunder around. It feels good, surprisingly, childlike. So, anyway, there is your reading, my beautiful pile 3. Thank you so much for listening all the way till the end. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up, make a comment, and claim this reading for yourself. At this point, if you've listened this far, I know that you're serious about finding love. I would love to help you. Feel free to email me or leave me a comment. Meanwhile, go forth and prosper. I look forward to seeing you on the next reading.